susunod na programa ay rated PG. Patnubay at gabay ng magulang ay kailangan sa mga batang manonood.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's take a reading and invocation. It will be done for us by the Honorable Will G. Ordan Senior, and this will be followed by the singing of the national anthem. Please all stand.
Our scripture reading for today is taken from book Matthew, chapter 25, verses 31 to 46. Jesus said to his disciples, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit upon his glorious throne, and all the nations will be assembled before him, and he will separate them from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will place the sheep in his right and the goat in his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you are blessed by my Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. A stranger, and you welcomed me. Naked, and you clothed me. Ill, and you cared for me. In prison, and you visited me.' Then the righteous will answer him and say, 'Lord, when we did see you hungry, and feed you, or thirsty, and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and welcome you, or naked and clothe you? When did we see you ill or in prison and visit you?' And the king will say to them in reply, 'Amen. I say to you, whatever you did for one of these left brothers of mine, you did for me.' Then he will say to those on his left, 'Depart from me, you accursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. A stranger, and you gave me no welcome. Naked, and you gave me no clothing. Ill and in prison, and you did not care for me.' Then they will answer and say, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry, or thirsty, or stranger, or naked, or ill, or in prison, and not minister to your needs?' He will answer them, 'Amen. I say to you, what you did not do for one of those least ones, you did not do for me.' And this will go up to eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life." In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. God of grace, we open our hearts, mind and soul to worship you. Thank you for today. We dwell in your kingdom and live in your presence. Thank you that we gather together. We join all Christians across the world to glorify your holy name. God be with us, inspire us, and lead us in our time together. We ask this in the beautiful name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Bless the Lord.
Salva
The acting secretary to the Sangguniang is Eric Mondoro.
The Honorable Presiding Officer, Attorney Jerry Stianmonti, and City Vice Mayor Attorney Jerry Stianmonti present. Honorable Sir Judy Gagalinda present. Honorable J.C. S. Aluan present. Honorable Joel B. Aclau present. Honorable Donna Aishio of Official Business. Honorable Silas U. Claros Jr. present. Honorable Vincent J. Bandero present. Honorable Arthur Q. Illinoria present. Honorable Noel B. Undak Sr. present. Honorable Aileen M. Taladua present. Honorable Jessica E. Martinez present. Honorable Alfredo Y. Borgino Jr. present. Honorable Henrich Von Gonzaga Nachik Ron, and the Honorable Janet E. Gomoran present. Mr. Presiding Officer, majority of the members is present this afternoon.
There being a majority of the members of the Sangguniang present, quorum is declared. The honorable majority group leader is requested to acknowledge our guests and the speakers.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. For today's session, March 7, 2022, I would like to welcome all our guests. Mr. Boy Tercero, welcome sir. Mr. Fidel Pascola, Mr. Rolito Antasoda, Mr. James Criminal, welcome to our March 7 regular session.
There is nothing indicated to avail of himself or herself people's time. So let us go to letter B in the order of business.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. The minutes of the regular session dated February 28, 2022, signed by all members except the Honorable Donna R.E.O., who is not around, and I think an official business, as well as the journal number 12, dated February 28, 2022, signed by all members except the Honorable Donna R.E.O. for official business, majority of which signed both the journal and the minutes of February 28, 2022 regular session. I so move for its adoption.
Is there any objection to the motion for the approval, adoption of the journal and minutes of February 28, 2022 regular session of the Sangguniang? The chair hears none. Motion is approved.
H, committee report. A, committee report number 22-03-032. May I call in the gentleman from San Vicente Baja.
The gentleman from San Vicente Bajo, the Honorable Joel B. Undak Sr. is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. Committee report number 22-03-032. Will be subject application for renewal, change of unit, change name, issuance of new and issuance of provisional franchise for motorized bicycle for hire and cancellation of expired income. Referred to the committee for review and considerations are the following: 5 applications for renewal of income and 2 applications for change of unit. 1 application for issuance of new income. 3 applications for issuance of provisional income and cancellation of expired income. And the party of the committee chose that this applicant have submitted all the requirements necessary for the attachment of their applications. Therefore, they are qualified to operate the principal provided within the specified law in the city. Therefore, it is recommended that their applications be approved. Attached also is the proposed city resolution number 047-022, a resolution approving applications for renewal, change of unit, change name, issuance of new and issuance of provisional franchise for motorized operators permit, as per stated in committee report number 22-03-032 of the Committee on Transportation. Certifying on behalf of the committee, I recommend for the adoption and approval of committee report number 022-03-032 and the attached proposed city resolution number 047-2022 passing into second and final reading.
Is there any remarks, comment on the recommendation of the committee chair, Committee on Transportation, regarding its committee report number 22-03-032, including the attached proposed city resolution number 047-2022. That one is interested in comment or not, so majority approval in the form of motion, please.
So presiding on the recommendation of the committee chair, Committee on Transportation, as far as the applications for renewal, change of unit, provisional franchises for motorized bicycle for hire, and cancellation of expired MTOPs. With no objection, I so move for the adoption of committee report number 22-03-032, including its attached proposed city resolution number 047-2022 on second and final reading.
There is a motion for the adoption and approval of committee report number 22-03-032 and the accompanying proposed city resolution number 047-2022 be passed on second and final reading. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
B. Committee report number 22-03-033, we are called in the gentle lady from Barangay Bulibon.
The gentle lady from Barangay Bulibon, the Honorable Josibel Magpinan, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding and Honorable Majority Floor Leader. Committee report number 22-03-033, the Committee on Accreditation of NGOs POs, regarding the single endorsement dated 21 February 2022 from the Technical Working Group for Accreditation of NGOs POs, submitting to the Committee on Accreditation of NGOs POs the evaluation report and the committee that accreditation be given to Orbita Salon Workers Association as new NGO of the city. Upon review and thorough evaluation, the association has complied with all the minimum requirements for accreditation as provided in ILGMC 2019-72. So in behalf of the committee, I move to pass on second and final reading the proposed city resolution number 048-2022 approving the application for accreditation of Orbita Salon Workers Association as new NGO organization of Orbita City. Thank you, Mr. President.
Is there any comment or remarks on the recommendation of the committee chair, Committee on Accreditation of NGOs and POs. Pertinent to its committee report number 22-03-033, including the accompanying proposed city resolution thereto number 048-2022. The chair hears none. Majority Rule Leader, please proceed accordingly.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. On the recommendation of the Committee Chair, Committee on Accreditation of NGOs and POs, with reference to the evaluation report of the Technical Working Group on Accreditation of NGOs and POs, with no objection, I so move for adoption of Committee Report number 22-03-033 and to pass the second and final reading its attached proposed city resolution number 048-2022.
It has been moved by the majority provider that committee report number 22-03-033 be adopted and accepted, and that the proposed city resolution number 048-2022 be passed on second and final reading. Is there any comment, remarks, objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
C. Committee Report number 22-03-034. May I call in the Committee Chair, Committee on Health.
The gentleman from lower block, the Honorable Enanoria, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. Referred to the Committee of Health for the appropriate action by during the ST session of January 24. It was referred to the Committee of Health. The subject is the City Nutrition Action Plan for calendar year 2022 of the City Health Office. The committee hearing was conducted on February 22, 2022 at 2 p.m. and attended by the representative and designated nutrition program coordinator on the person of Mrs. Lady Cindy Jacques. Presented to the body the sector. According to her, it is requirement for budgeting or funding purposes to discuss the objectives, sustainable development goals, nutrition, specific programs and activities, complementation of nutrition and nutrition-sensitive interventions based on their data. She informed the committee that Oroqueta City is top 1 in terms of malnutrition. Wherein, one possible reason is that the city has no enough personnel and officer role to address and focus on problems, issues, and concerns regarding malnutrition. On the other hand, mentioned by Ms. Navas that part of the nutrition plan program is the establishment of breastfeeding corner in the public and private places. It is observed that in other cities, municipalities, there is a separate space for the lactating mothers wherein they can breastfeed their babies. And it is encouraged that this city would also have the same, thereby encouraging mothers to breastfeed their babies even though they are at work. The committee is satisfied with the presentation of Ms. Jacques. There was no objection. recommendations, Mr. Presiding. 1. Approving the City Nutrition Action Plan for calendar year 2022 of the City Health Office. And 2. Passing on first reading the proposed ordinance establishing the breastfeeding corner in public and private places of Oroquieta City. I request the Secretary to read the ordinance, proposed ordinance for first reading, number 06/2022.
The Secretary is directed to read the title of the ordinance, and then since it is a matter of record that a complete copy of the proposed city ordinance is on record, so the reading of the title is limited to that aspect.
Proposed city ordinance number 06/2022, an ordinance establishing the breastfeeding corners in public and private places of Oroquieta City, providing funds and methods for its enforcement, and prescribing penalties for violations thereof, and for such other purposes. And first, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Secretary. So, the Honorable Pinanoyan, what is your next question?
The third recommendation is a proposed ordinance proposed city resolution number 050/2022, respectfully recommending to the Honorable City Mayor Merrick M. Acosta the possibility of creating the position of Nutrition Action Officer to focus and take appropriate action on problems, issues, and concerns regarding malnutrition to the city of Oroquieta. Mr. Presiding, on behalf of the committee, I recommend for the acceptance of the committee report number 2203-034, including the proposed resolution number 049-2022, approving the City Nutrition Action Plan for calendar year 2022 of the City Health Office, DCD, and the proposed city ordinance number 06/2022, an ordinance establishing the breastfeeding corners in public and private places of Oroquieta City, providing funds and methods for its enforcement, and prescribing penalties for violations thereof, and for such other purposes. And the third is the proposed resolution number 050-2022, entitled Respectfully Recommending to the Honorable City Mayor Merrick M. Acosta the possibility of creating the position of City Nutrition Action Officer to focus and take appropriate action on problems, issues, and concerns regarding malnutrition in the city of Oroquieta. For recommendations, I highly recommend on behalf of the committee, Mr. Presiding.
Is there any remarks on the recommendation of the Committee on Health regarding its proposed resolution number 049/2022. as embodied in its committee report number 22-03-034. As well as proposed city resolution number 050-2022 and the attached proposed city ordinance number 6-2022 be passed on first reading. Is there any comment? Remarks? The chair hears none. Majority leader, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. On the recommendation of the Committee Chair, Committee on Health, regarding the City Nutrition Action Plan for calendar year 2022, the Office of the City Health Local Government Unit, having three recommendations. One, approving the City Nutrition Action Plan. Two, passing the first reading an ordinance establishing breastfeeding corner in public and private places. And three, recommending for the creation of the position of the City Nutrition Action Officer to focus on taking action on problems, issues, and concerns regarding malnutrition. With no objection, I so move for the adoption of Committee Report number 22-03-034, including its attached one proposed City Ordinance number 06-2022, which were read by the Sangguniang Secretary, and may I respectfully refer the said City Ordinance number 06-2022 to be referred back to the Committee on Health, and with reference to the recommendation number 2, or rather number 3, the attached proposed city resolution on second and final reading, the proposed city resolution number 050-2022, respectfully recommending to the Honorable City Mayor Lemuel Marichem Acosta the possibility of creating a position of City Nutrition Action Officer (CNAO) to focus and take appropriate action on problems, issues, and concerns regarding malnutrition in the City of Oroquieta. I so move, Mr. President.
There is a motion for the adoption and acceptance of Committee Report number 22-03-034, including the three recommendations as well stated by the majority leader. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is approved. Proposed ordinance number 0.
D. Committee Report number 22-03-035, may calling the gentleman from Poblacion Puno.
The General Congregación of the Honorable Soul Jude Gamalina is brief match.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, and to the return. Committee report number 22-03-035. Subject, proposed ordinance number 039-2021. An ordinance reclassifying the parcel of land declared in the name of Mr. Joseph Kena G. Gas, involving an area of 4.8 hectares located in Barangay Burgos Alto, Northern City, from agricultural to tourism use or eco park for the proposed construction promotion of Angelo Farm. As considered and reviewed, same in the public hearing held last March 2022 of Barangay Hall of Burgos Alto, City. Fair is first endorsement dated November 19, 2021 to our Wholesale Mayor, the Luminary Constant, forwarded to this House of Bali, resolution number 2021-11-1, dated October 28, 2021, from the Technical Working Group of the local zoning board regarding the request of Mr. Bugas. This was budget to the Committee on Land Use and Zoning being referred to the matter for further appropriate action in the aid of investigation. Learned that after the actual inspection of the subject and the proposal of the document submitted by the applicant, found out through the technical working group that the Angelo Farm, represented by Corazon Binario, is compliant to all the requirements needed for the classification and recommended for its approval. Section 20, letter 8 of RA 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, so provides that a city or municipality may approve an ordinance passed by the Assembly after conducting public hearing for the purpose authorize the classification of public lands and provide for the manner for the utilization or disposition in the following cases. Number 1, when the land ceases to be economically feasible and sound for agricultural purposes, as determined by the Department of Agriculture. Number 2, where the land shall have substantially greater value for residential, commercial, or industrial purposes, as determined by the Assembly of Concern. Premises were considered and offered in the public hearing has been conducted for the purpose without adverse reaction on the application of Mr. Bugas. As it is advantageous to the city's economic growth, and given the development of Angelo Farm will inevitably boost the local tourism of the Quezon, offer more opportunities for employment and will introduce more agricultural products to this city. So with this humble presentation, Mr. President, I would like to recommend for its adoption the committee report number 22-03-035 and attached with proposed city ordinance number 039-2021 for second reading. And the chair is ready for any resolution.
Is there any comment, remarks on the recommendation of the committee chair, Committee on Land Use and Zoning. Regarding its committee report number 22-03-035, including the attached proposed city ordinance number 039-2021 that it be passed on second reading. If there's none, majority provider. We have a case where a matter is presented on second reading. Please proceed.
Mr. Presiding, I'd like to open the floor for any debate as far as the proposed city ordinance number 039-2021, which is on second reading.
Is there any gentleman or lady who wishes to enter into debate, or wish to interpret the sponsor of OCP Ordinance number 039-2021? There is none. The presiding officer would like to ask some enlightenment as regards this ordinance. What's the game to running part?
Compose na siya mga para na Mr. President. Sagaran is agricultural yapon. Nagyan po siya mga tanong, mga vegetation, mga agricultural products there. We plan siya improve siya yung mga sceneries na mapa-attract sa mga tourist.
Eco Park is related to the tourism industry.
Yes, Mr. President.
Ano ba yun? Hindi ba bilik?
Coming. Coming.
Kung kabayo ko, ito.
Coming for ang ilang i-develop is ito mga zip line, bicycle, additional pictures there. Napay kami nilang ng mga proposed na gawa sa mga
Okay, sa ilang istorya, ilang budget nila?
Partially, last one, napunta sila mga 50 ano. Nagagasto na sila mga 50 ano.
Oh, very good. So that is a welcome thing to the economy of the city of Orquídea. So, nabay mong komentaryo? That's good news.
Mr. Presiding,
Yes,
I was thinking of your question. That's why I would like to also ask the proponent. In what way does the city would benefit from this move, reclassifying that parcel of land from agricultural to eco park or tourism use for purposes of that schedule farm? Naaba ni specific na increase ang tax na ito kung yung ang classification. Sayang ba?
the Honorable Soldier Committee will respond.
Yes, Mr. President. In my own opinion, Mr. President, it is very much agreeable na negotiate for taxes na sinasa for ako yan. Natulis na Mr. President. Mudahin yan mag-success sa vision.
The majority leader is concerned about realty tax. Naka-istorya ba tayo rin sa pag-assessor for this?
So for Mr. President, ilang istorya is amendable na maka-increase ito tax income sa aming party.
Ilan to? 50 million ang ilang? Pardon me, pero producer leader ng negosyo. 50 million ang ilang nagasto. What ba tayo sila? Shall we say privilege tax or privilege incentive in the form of hangip sa taxes.
As of now, wala pa silang mismo na Mr. President.
Okay, I would like so-called investment food. Basing orang na sila, pero kung wala pa na, adik na lang sila natutuan. Okay, so, in the board, Honorable Vincent Badal.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is just to supplement the majority for Beaver. Now, my question is, since we are reclassifying the property from agricultural to a corporation, is there any difference in the payment of the real property tax? Since now, of course, they are paying it as an agricultural. Now, once we will reclassify it into a tourism classification, is there any difference, an increase or decrease or just the same in terms of payment of their real property tax insofar as the property or the land is concerned?
I think you'll be the assessor will find that the difference, Mr. President. We have not often taken that subject. So it's up to them. If we will ask the assessor's office about the concern.
That's the information given by the Honorable Solgood, Melita. Honorable Badal.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, napay muna. So, wala na. Majority ruling. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. With no other interested to join the debate, I respectfully recommend to close, to terminate the debate portion, and likewise recommend to open the floor for any amendment or committee amendment, Mr. President.
The period of debate is terminated. So, the period for amendment is now open. Both committee amendment and individual amendment. Not one is manifested to introduce an amendment, so please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. With no one interested for any personal and committee amendment, I so move to close the period of amendment
Period amendment is hereby terminated. So since the mechanics for considering a proposing ordinance on second reading is already completed, so let us go back to the motion of the majority group leader that committee report number 22-03-035 be accepted and adopted, and that proposing the ordinance number 039-2021 be passed on second reading. Is there any objection? Remarks? The chair is not, the motion is approved.
E, committee report number 22-03-036, calling to the gentleman from the school.
The gentleman from Tabungsur, the honorable will be allowed is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer and Majority Floor Leader. Committee report number 22-03-036. The subject, Barangay annual budgets for calendar year 2022 of Barangay Proper Lakangan in the total amount of 4,933,513. Barangay Lower Lamak in the total amount of 5,502,254. Barangay Malindan in the total amount of 2,261,943. And Barangay San Vicente Alto in the total amount of 4,524,001 peso. Mr. Presiding Officer, the above mentioned for barangay annual budget was reviewed and reviewed by this committee and found in order and operative in its entirety pursuant to Section 333 of Republic Act CD 2160 and subject to budgeting, accounting, and auditing rules and regulation. In behalf of the committee, Mr. President Officer, this representation recommends for the acceptance and adoption of committee report number 22-03-036 and to pass on second and final reading the proposed attached proposed resolution number 051-2022 entitled a resolution declaring appropriation ordinances number 01-2021 for barangays Proper Lakangan and Lower Lamak, appropriation ordinance number 02-2021 of Barangay Malindan, and appropriation ordinance number 03-2021 of Barangay San Vicente Alto, all this city operated in its entirety, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Before the chair acts on the manifestation of the committee chair, let us recognize the presence of Honorable Paul Gonzaga. Has been sitting here for almost 30 minutes, and we feel to recognize him. So we are recognized. Your presence is acknowledged. Okay. Is there any comment, remarks on the recommendation of the committee chair, Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriations, regarding its committee report number 22-03-036, as well as the attached proposed city resolution number 05-2022 that will be passed on second and final reading. Chair Hairston, Majority Leader, the full motion, please.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. of the Committee Chair, Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations, pertaining to the annual budgets of the 4 barangays mentioned. With no objection, I so move for the adoption of Committee Report number 22-03-036, including its attached proposed City Resolution number 051-2022 on second and final reading.
There is some motion for the adoption of Committee Report number 22-03-036 of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations, and the accompanying proposed City Resolution number 051-2022 be passed on second and final reading. Is there any objection? Remarks? If there is none, the motion is approved.
F. Committee Report number 22-03-037. Again, may I call in the gentleman from Balusur.
The gentleman from the Balusur, the Honorable Joel Biancao, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer and Majority Floor Leader. Committee Report number 22-03-037 with the subject Sangguniang Kabataan Annual Budgets for calendar year 2022 of Barangay Credit Settlement in the total amount of 244,144 pesos. Barangay Proper Langkangan, the total amount of 493,351. Barangay Tiyabambaco, in the total amount of 240,077 pesos. And Barangay Lower Lobo, in the total amount of 425,493. Mr. Presiding Officer, the above mentioned for Sangguniang Kabataan Annual Budget for CY 2022 was reviewed by this committee and found in order and operative in its entirety, subject pursuant to Section 20 of RA 10742, subject to budgeting, accounting, and auditing rules and regulations.
Is there any comment? Remarks on the recommendation of the Committee Chair, Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations, regarding its Committee Report number 22-03-037, including its attached proposed City Resolution number 052-2022, that it be passed on second and final reading. If there is none, Majority Floor Leader, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. On the recommendation of the Committee Chair, Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations pertaining to the SK annual budget of the 4 respective barangays mentioned, with no objection, I shall move for adoption of Committee Report number 22-03-037 and to pass to second and final reading. It's attached proposed City Resolution number 052-202.
There is a motion for the adoption of Committee Report number 22-03-037 and that the accompanying City Resolution number 052-2022 be passed on second and final reading. Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion is approved.
G. Committee Report number 22-03-038. Again, may I call in the gentleman from the Balusur.
The gentleman from the Balusur is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer and Majority Floor Leader. Committee Report number 22-03-038 with the subject Barangay Supplemental Budgets number 1 or CY 2021 of Barangay Lower Lobo in the total amount of 22,000, Barangay Poblacion 1 in the total amount of 35,000, Barangay Tabuk Norte in a total amount of 70,000. Mr. Presiding Officer, the above three mentions sa barangay supplemental budget number 1 was reviewed by this committee and found in order and operated in its entirety, subject to accounting, auditing, and budgeting rules and regulations pursuant to section 333 of 7160. And job of the committee, Mr. President Officer, this representation recommends for the adoption of acceptance of committee report number 22-03-038 and passing on second and final reading the proposed resolution, city resolution number 053-2022 entitled a resolution declaring appropriation ordinances number 22-01 of Barangay Lower Lubok, Poblacion Ono, and Tabuk Norte, all of the city operative in its entirety, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Is there any comments about on the recommendation of the committee chair, Committee on Finance, Budget and Operations, covering its committee report number 22-03-038, including the attached proposed city resolution thereto number 053-2022 that it be passed on second and final reading. Chair hears none, majority rule leader.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. On the recommendation of the Committee Chair, Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations pertaining to the barangay supplemental budgets of the three respective barangays mentioned, no objection is moved for the adoption of Committee Report number 22-03-038 and to pass on second and final reading the attached proposed city resolution number 053-202.
It has been moved by the majority rule leader that committee report number 22-03-038 be adopted and that the proposed city resolution number 053 thus 2022 accompanying them to be passed on second and final reading. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, the motion is approved.
Unfinished business? None. Before I proceed to the business for the day, Mr. Presiding, there is a communication, an urgent communication coming from the Honorable City Mayor, Level Mayor Kim Acosta, for the inclusion of this fees request for urgent amendment of Appropriation Ordinance number 08-2021 under Supplemental Budget number 7, known as an Appropriation Ordinance approving the Supplemental Budget number 7, series of 2021 of the Oroquieta City General Fund proper in total amount of 18,750,000 pesos for various purposes as follows. The majority would like to ask for consideration to include the request of the Honorable City Mayor in our business of the day.
Okay, the record that the Sangguniang received a copy of the letter of the Honorable City Mayor dated March 4, 2022. Anyway, so Secretary, to the Sangguniang, without objection, the March 4, 2022 letter of the City Mayor is included in the agenda. So, Mr. President, we are listeners.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. Recommend that the letter of the Honorable City Mayor dated March 4, 2022 regarding the ordinance amendment of appropriations ordinance number 08-2021 be marked on item 2.6, and likewise the item 2.6 for information will now be marked item 2.7 accordingly.
So, Secretary, this is Vision 1.
Yes, Mr. President, Officer.
May I proceed, Mr. Presiding?
Please.
2, business for the day. Item 2.1, proposed city resolution on second and final reading. Item 2.1.8, proposed city resolution number 021-2022. May I call in the committee chair, Committee on Application of NGOs and POs.
The gentleman from Boligon is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, and Honorable Majority Leader. Proposed city resolution number 021-2022. A resolution respectfully requesting the office of the city mayor, who Honorable William Acosta, to form a working group aimed at will conduct further study to address the post-harvest and all practical concerns of the Tuyaban Agro Agrarian Reform Community Cooperative, the ARCO, in their irrigation farming project. The Committee on Accreditation for NGOs POs conducting a committee meeting on February 8, 2022 the subject. Request of the Honorable City Mayor Willie and staff for a resolution authorizing him to sign and enter into a tripartite undertaking with the DAR, LGU, and the ARCO for the conduct of training program necessary in the implementation of Phoenix Farm. Relevant to the subject matter, the chairperson of the ARCO also put up with the discussion their dairy goat farming project. We have been doing for months of previous. As of this day, even under the DAR, which includes 5 goats that cost 70,000 each. Meanwhile, the project seems developing with a promising production of at least 15 bottles of milk per day. The beneficiaries also encountered inevitable difficulties in handling the project, considering that the goats need more time to be taken good care, and primarily the cooperative still has the buyer for their milk production. This focus study teams it appropriate and necessary that a working group team will be established that will mainly focus in addressing these pressing problems. Hence, it will eventually boost their milk production and become competitive in the market. The committee has been a witness of the success of this milk production in the city alone, and how much more if it will expand in other areas. Thus, it will not only become pride of the ARCO, but also it will be the pride of the whole city of Orquita. Now, therefore, be it resolved that is hereby resolved, there is a Sangguniang Pagod of Orquita, by virtue of the powers vested in it by law, till sitio as the to pass a resolution respectfully requesting the office of the city mayor to Honorable Willie M. Acosta to form, create a working group team that will conduct further study to address the post-harvest and all marketing concerns of the Tuyaban Agro Agrarian Reform Community Cooperative in their dairy goat farming project. So with this, Mr. Presiding, I move to pass on second and final reading the proposed city resolution number 021/2022.
Is there any second?
Second.
It has been moved by the principal holder, Honorable Joseph M. Magminay, and duly seconded by the Honorable Eileen Talagua. The proposed City Resolution number 021-2022 be passed on second and final reading. Is there any remarks, comment, objection? Kung wala, the presiding officer for purposes of the mamutana. Kung sa mga kanding nila hindi dako ni?
Dako.
Dako. Kanang katong murag Australian.
Australian books.
Katong murag sa baka, no? So, very good, very good.
Breast milk ni Mr. Presiding, tapos daw din ka ng mga fried biscuit.
Oo. Kasi na yung makamagwapong ng gatas ni Pensa. Gagod kayo. Di ba may product o gatas? Keso? Keso, may product sa gatas, keso. Hindi kayo na. Pero ganun agad sa gospel reading ni Honorable Undag kay ang mga kandeng ipawala. Ang kakliro, buta ito. Anyway, lahat itong siyas mga kandeng. So, kung wala tayo mag-komentaryo, is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Item 2.2 for review. Item 2.2.A and item 2.2.B all pertains to annual budget of the two respective barangays mentioned. May I respectfully refer the whole item 2.2 to the committee.
Item 2.2 is referred to the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriations.
Item 2.3, letter dated 22 February 2022 from City Administrator Manuel U. Neri, for and in the absence of the City Mayor, requesting his lowest body to pass a resolution authorizing the City Mayor Emmanuel Mary Acosta to enter into MOA with the DNR EMD in connection with the bio-waste shredder and composter given by the DNR EMD to the City Government of Oroquieta. May I respectfully refer item 2.3 to the Committee on Environment, Protection and Natural Resources.
Item 2.3 is so referred.
Item 2.4, letter dated 04 March 2022 from the Honorable City Mayor Emmanuel Mary Acosta, requesting authority from this august body to donate 4,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccines to the Department of Health as requested as very urgent and requires immediate enactment of appropriate resolution. May I respectfully refer item 2.4 to the Committee on Health.
Item 2.4 is referred to the Committee on Health.
Item 2.5, letter dated March 7, 2022 from the Honorable City Mayor Emmanuel Mary Acosta, requesting for urgent authorization of the following. A. First, revised annual investment program integrating the new program, projects, and activities duly approved by the Local Finance Committee as per resolution number 2022-03-01 dated March 4, 2022 in the amount of 76,686,812 pesos for the general fund proper, 2,761,180 pesos and 72 centavos for 20% local development fund, and 22,000 pesos for special account CEDO. And item B under 2.5, as this is our all, the two are interrelated. B, the proposed supplemental budget number 1 under calendar year 2022 general fund proper in amount of 76,686,180 812 pesos for the general fund proper, 2,761,180 pesos and 72 centavos for 20% local development fund, and 22,000 pesos for special account settle. The whole of item 2.5 may respectfully refer it to the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriations.
Item 2.5, in its entirety, is referred to the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriations.
Item 2.6, letter dated March 4, 2022, from the Honorable City Mayor Manuel Melic M. Acosta, requesting for urgent amendment of Appropriation Ordinance number 08-2021 under Supplemental Budget number 7, known as an Appropriation Ordinance, approving the Supplemental Budget number 7, Series of 2021 of Oroqueta City General Fund proper, in the total amount of 18,757,000 pesos for various purposes. May I respectfully refer item 2.6 to the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriations.
Item 2.6 is referred to the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriations.
Item 2.7 for information. A. DPWH, Misamis Occidental, First District Engineering Office, monthly status report of infrastructure projects implemented in the city of Oroquieta as of February 2022. Everybody's copy for information.
Duly noted.
B. Letter dated February 24, 2022, from Mrs. Maura M. Salatandre, manager of Villa Pasaya Mountain Resort, promoting and supporting local tourism in key to a vibrant economy. For information.
Noted.
C. Letter dated February 28, 2022, from Mr. Ricky A. Huang, Consumers Welfare Advocate DCT, addressed to Director Mario C. Marasigan, OIC Electric Power Management Bureau. Copy furnished this August body. Complaint of Mr. Huang on the electric power service of ULC1 to its member consumers for information.
Noted.
That's all, Mr. Presiding. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Majority Leader, and then all members of the we are now in Councilor's time. So, any gentleman or lady would like to make use of the Councilor's time? Yes, Ramon Pinarroyo.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, honorable members. This presentation of Chair of the Committee on Health, which was referred well ago, item 2.4, but we forgot, Mr. Presiding. I'm appealing on behalf of this August body to go up for its consideration that the item taking into consideration that the matter is requested by the City Mayor as urgent for someone to raise the
We need to suspend the rules for that matter.
I move to suspend the rules.
I second the motion, Mr. Presiding.
By Honorable Arthur Inaruya, duly seconded by Honorable Julia Lau, that the rules be suspended. Is there any objection? On that note, the rules suspended to council will be proposing the resolution number 05 or 054-2022. The chair hears none. The Honorable Arthur Inanuria is recognized.
Yes, Mr. President. It was earlier that I was confronted by the city mayor verbally. The intent of the LGU to donate our unused ample supply of AstraZeneca vaccine to be used by the other LGUs within the province that are still needing COVID-19 vaccine. So here it goes with this. This is an urgent request to meet the time because the ampule it will expire before March 31 this year. I was informed that in the audit seat conference conducted last Friday, March 4th, of 2021, duly attended by departmental heads of our LGU, including the city health officer, the Honorable Aklaw, and our secretary to the Sanggunian. That the mayor also brought up in that forum the intent to donate some doses of our extra supply of Astra vaccines for those who need it before it will expire, before the end of this month. And there was no vehement reactions, no objections being heard along this line. Everything has already been prepared for vaccinations. What we only need now as supporting documents is a resolution of authority from this body. On this consideration, its urgency, the committee is now presenting its proposed resolution number 054-2022 to each of the honorable members for this most kind of honorable consideration. Thus, I recommend to be approved on first, second, and final reading. Mr. President.
Is there any comment on the manifestation of the committee chair, Committee on Health? Wala yung comment. The presiding officer would like to recall na murag ang donate na ito.
Yes.
AstraZeneca. Napay nabili din?
Yes, Mr. Presiding. I was also informed na tanan nga atong i-purchase sa Astra is naana sa facility sa Swillig, Manila. So, yeah, kay gamay-gamay naman ang input ato ang vaksinanan. No? We have already, as of sa target nato, 80%. The 59,750 population. We already have vaccinated 46,000 for the first dose. So, ang nabili na lang Mr. President to get that 80% for the herd immunity is 13,450. And some, pili mo kung sila mamilit, mo kung ang upan. So,
malagay ba siya kinaman AstraZeneca? Unay robot sa pili-pili kay Castro bigay na order. Hindi na nasama o ordinaryong utang na maka-pili-pili na. By ball ko na. But anyway, pinatapay kintan. So, lain mo komentaryo. Kung wala, majority ruling, dapat mo.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. On the recommendation of the Committee Chair, Committee on Health, on the proposed city resolution number 054-2022, authorizing the city government of Oroquieta through the Honorable City Mayor Daniel Merrick Acosta to donate 40,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccines to the Department of Health with no objection.
I shall move to pass it for first, second, and final reading.
There is a motion for the passage of City Resolution number 054-2022 on first, second, and third final reading. First, second, and final reading. Is there any objection? Chair hears none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Presiding Officer.
Yes, General from Bangkok.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Mr. Presiding Officer and my colleagues in this Sangguniang, with your indulgence and to consider the urgency of the letter request from the local chief executive as manifested in his letter dated 4 March. The three items under item 2.5 A and B and item 2.6 as certified urgent by the local chief executive, Mr. Presiding Officer, and my colleagues. So at that note, Mr. Presiding Officer, I move to pass. I move to conduct a special session this Sangguniang this coming March 10 at 10 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Presiding Officer.
By the Honorable Will be allowed, it is seconded by Honorable Will be conduct that the Sangguniang shall conduct special session on March 10. Saan ang naman?
Thursday.
March 10, 2022 to consider the letter of the Honorable City Mayor dated March 4, 2022. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. We have a special session on March 10. Also,
March 10 at 9 o'clock in the morning.
March 10, 9 o'clock. Mamuna na yung mga report na.
Yes, Mr. President, sir.
Yun. March 10, 9 o'clock in the morning. Thursday na, no?
Yes, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President and my colleagues.
Any more concerns? Wala ba? So, the presiding officer would like to make known his observation. With a congratulation, I congratulate the Honorable Vincent Lantero, Honorable Arthur Inanoria, Honorable Noel B. Unang Senior, the Honorable Barong Barang Honorable Irene Taladua, the Honorable Joseph Maghinay, for being conscious of Section 19 of the SP Rules of Procedure. First is the session of the month. Barong Tagalog, long sleep. Sikyan po po kayo pinamang. Ang bilis ko po kayo. Pagtala mo lang po. Sayo po rin. Well, anyway, it has taken, for as long as it is in the rules, we have to observe the same. So, daghang salamat po kanan. Daghang salamat po sa natukuman sa akong birthday. Salamat po. Daghang salamat sa inyo pag-attender sa akong duha ka birthday. 24, 23, 24. It's a very, so we say, wonderful moment na natin mga amigo, mga bisita na ito, no? Sa atong birthday. Tingnan na natin, importante ang presence of your friends during your happy moments.